Good morning. I'd like to make a survey. Who came to Le Havre this morning by train? Who drove to Le Havre? Who came with an electrical vehicle? Now, in your opinion, what is the share of CO2 emissions across the world for which cars can be blamed for? 15%, 15% of greenhouse effect gases are released by cars. Car manufacturers are therefore in first line regarding greenhouse effect gas emissions. This is the reason why the Renault-Nissan Alliance, encouraged by Laurent Fabius, decided to participate and be a partner for the COP21 conference in Paris. What are the main stakes, environmental, social, for car manufacturers? We've talked about the climate with the greenhouse effect gases, but also the second thing are resources. A vehicle represents 1,200 kilos of raw materials when it's being built. And in 97% of cases, automobiles today are fueled by oil in the form of diesel oil or petrol. This means that our automobiles are still addicted to a non-renewable kind of energy, fossil fuels. But health is also important. We know for a fact that beyond CO2, which does pollute the atmosphere, there are also particles, nitrogen oxides, which are another type of pollutants. They can be found mostly in urban areas, and we have calculated the impact they can have on our health. I'm talking about these three issues and not only about the climate because, one, they're interdependent, and two, because we have decided to have a global approach to address those problems in a holistic way. And this obviously with the aim of preserving the health of future generations. And when I say we, it means car manufacturers, our suppliers, our distributors. They have come together and joined forces. They've also been encouraged by stringent rules and regulations, obviously the European regulations. And progressively, these regulations have pushed us forward in this field. A company such as Renault has committed itself 20 years ago. Ever since 2010, we also committed ourselves to reduce by 3% every year our carbon print. In 3 years, it means that we have saved 10 million tons of CO2 which have not been released. Already a lot. Just to give you an order of magnitude, if all the people releasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere across the world did the same, 3% reduction per year, the objective of the Paris conference, limiting our planet warming to 2 degrees, well, we would have reduced our CO2 emissions by 40 to 70%. This is what we need to do to achieve a 2-degree limitation. And if everybody had done what we have done, we would be absolutely certain that we will meet the challenge in 2050. What did we do? I'll give you an example. We have plants everywhere. We have one in Le Havre, we have some in Sandouville, and I'm going to tell you about Tangier in Morocco. In Morocco, 90% of the electrical power needed to operate the factory is produced with renewable energy. We supply ourselves with a wind farm, a windmill farm, and we also have biomass boilers And in these biomass boilers, we burn, for instance, olive shells. And we also replace raw materials with recycled materials. In your new vehicles, 30% of the raw materials are coming from recycled materials. By the way, it reminds me of what Antoine Ferraud was saying regarding water bottles. If you want to be healthy, you're supposed to drink about 2 liters of water per day. But what people do not know is that a human being also needs 2 liters of oil per day. And 1/4 of the 2 liters, so half a liter, is dedicated to transport, traveling. We are still addicted to fossil fuels. And for us, a generalistic car manufacturer, it's absolutely essential that we reduce fuel consumption, and by reducing fuel consumption, we also obviously decrease CO2 gas emissions. 20 years ago, if you took a car and you filled the tank, you could drive from Le Havre and drive to Clermont-Ferrand. Nowadays, with the same quantity of petrol, you can go from Le Havre to Parma in Italy. You see, a lot of progress has been made. You see on the screen the figures showing the progress that was made between the Kyoto Agreement in 1995 and the conference in Paris in 2015. Obviously, this progress was made step after step, progressively, one step at a time. Now, however, we need more radical solutions. More and more people across the world want to be able to own a car and drive a car. I mean, that's legitimate. Why would people be prevented from owning or driving a car? So, on the one hand, we want to decrease gas emissions, and on the other hand, there are more and more people who would like to have access to an automobile. For some people, a car means freedom, means happiness. And for other people, cars are a way to earn a living and feed wife and children, or go to work, simply have access to a better job. We don't want to deprive those people from the possibility of getting a job or a better job. However, if we want to address at the same time the matter of CO2 emissions, addiction to fuel, or dependence on fuel, but also atmospheric pollution, if we want to improve the quality of the air we breathe in our towns and across the world, while allowing more people access to an automobile, one solution resides in electrically powered mobility. 100% electrical, 0% emissions when being used. This is the reason why Renault, with the partner Nissan, has taken the leadership in this field. Renault wants to be the world leader and is the world leader in 100% electrically powered mobility. We therefore have decided to be partners for the COP21 conference by providing electrical powered vehicles to transport the delegates to the meeting. This is obviously having consequences on the model of our business, of our factories. All the constraints, but also the solutions that I have just described, will have an impact on our business model. This is going to change the way we do business from the inside of our company. 3 main mutations. The first mutation is the technological mutation. We are driven forward by technological mutations. An electrically powered vehicle is a breakthrough in terms of technology, but the electrically powered vehicle with the charging system means a change in the ecosystem, because new players will be involved in the business. The partnerships are going to change between private companies such as people responsible of people specializing in energy, and also partnerships between companies and local administrations, towns which want to encourage less carbon-based mobility. Second mutation, economic mutation. Antoine Frérot mentioned circular economy. This is also absolutely essential for us at Renault. We want to design vehicles which are eco-friendly, environmental friendly, in such a way that they can be made from materials that are 100% recyclable. And also the second economic mutation is called the economy of functionality. I'll give you an example. If you buy an electrically powered vehicle, I hope there will be many of you after my demonstration. Should you buy an electrically powered vehicle, you buy the vehicle, but you only rent the battery. You have to pay a subscription every month for the battery and the electricity you consume. Why did we decide that we wanted to remain the owners of the battery and not sell the battery with the car? Because we are already preparing the second life for our batteries. After a few years, the batteries will be used for photovoltaic panels in order to store the electricity produced by the photovoltaic panels. So the batteries will have several lives. And after they have been used for several years for photovoltaic electricity storage, they will be recycled and used to make more batteries. For you as customers, or future customers, this means that you keep the same vehicle, but you always have the last generation of batteries. And in this field, progress is rampant. The progress will be much faster than the cycle, the speed at which people sell and buy new cars. The third mutation will be that of use. Mobility becomes a service. Many of us have experienced car sharing, carpooling, or renting a vehicle from the neighbor, or renting the parking space from the neighbor. So we see that mobility is at the very heart of the process. Well, this is something that Renault wants to participate in, and things are really changing fast, and it makes a whole lot of difference for a company like ours. What it boils down to is that everything we do is aimed at providing our customers with a mobility which is not carbon-based, which is autonomous, disconnected, more inclusive for all populations, and sharing will be at the forefront. The process is in motion. Believe me, mark my words. Every day in the world, one person moves from a conventional petrol-fueled vehicle to an electrically powered vehicle. The revolution is in progress. We want to support it, and we want to support it with you. So please, we need to recharge our batteries, and I have not mentioned it so far, but the electrical vehicle is a silent vehicle, and therefore I promise there will be a sanctuary of peace, and in France, Le Havre means a sanctuary.